But my view on this is not a political one. It's not an issue of, oh, well, Joe Biden's in the White House, so I want to go stick it to Joe Biden by trying to find something I can go pass. It's very simply put, I want answers to be able to answer questions. That's our job. And what we're talking about here are children, and we're talking about a border that has created an environment where we all must agree on a bipartisan basis, absolute, undeniable fact, children are being abused, children are being put into the sex trafficking trade as a result of the massive flow across our border. Even if my colleagues on the other side of the aisle don't want to acknowledge that there's a massive flow across our border, or they want to say, oh, don't worry, that's all asylum claims. Don't worry about it. There's no issue. There's no gotaways. There's no fentanyl. There's no cartel issue. It's all fine. No worries. All the crap we're seeing in the 53 dead migrants in San Antonio, all the stuff happening to Texans, all the people dying. Oh, don't worry about all that. Ignore it. Even if we just accept, oh, don't worry about that. We can't agree that we ought to get every ounce of information out of the executive branch to be able to do our job and to seek the truth. I think that ought to be a straightforward inquiry, a straightforward question, a straightforward answer from us on the separation of powers, seeking the truth out of the executive branch in order to conduct our oversight responsibility, particularly when we're talking about the lives of children, the lives of individuals who are being abused by cartels, who are being put into the sex trafficking trade. I was going down the road of one part of the problem, which is the danger posed to the migrants who are abused, knowing where children end up, knowing whether or not they're put into the sex trafficking trade, knowing whether the person who claims to be that individual's uncle or aunt or father or mother is in fact that person and is in fact caring for that person in the supposed name of asylum and caring for kids in this dastardly broken system that has been created purposely by this administration and that is endangering those human beings. And they are human beings. Human beings, the 53 who are dead in the trailer I talked about in San Antonio, the 73 here in a stash house in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, 12 of whom are children. This is real. This is a very real impact on human beings being used as political chattel. And that's the truth. And the fact is, as my friend from North Carolina was just talking about the abuse there, I assume one of my colleagues may have brought up the illegal immigrant who posed as a minor while crossing border charged with murder in Florida. A 24-year-old Honduran immigrant who's charged with murder in the brutal stabbing death of a Florida man had crossed the United States border illegally months earlier, posing as an unaccompanied minor. An investigation by this newspaper found. Yeri Noel Medina Ulloa was busted October 7th in Jacksonville, where he's found covered in blood after allegedly killing Francisco Javier Cuellar, 46, a father of four who had taken in the immigrant. Think about that. A father of four who had taken in the immigrant who told authorities he was 17. He killed him. And now that guy has fatherless children. Now, this is something we just simply, again, I want to take this back to the basics. This is a resolution of inquiry to seek information from the executive branch to pursue the truth. That's it. That's what we're talking about. And yet, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are just going to block it. Doesn't matter. Every resolution of inquiry we're bringing up right now, blocked. No. What are my colleagues on the other side of the aisle afraid of? Are they afraid of the truth? Are they afraid that the American people will see that there are rampant abuses going on of both American children and immigrant children? Are they afraid that that truth is going to get out and the American people are going to be absolutely disgusted that the supposedly greatest country in the history of the world has a border that allows this to happen to kids? We just simply have requests for information. That is it. And again, I'd reiterate, I was happy to raise that question when it was a different situation and a Republican was in the White House. I was happy to press and say, you know what? I want that information out of HHS. When my colleagues on the other side of the aisle were grandstanding about kids in cages, when my colleagues on the other side of the aisle were wearing white pantsuits and crying looking through a fence, I was happy to say, you know what? I want to know the truth about where these kids ended up. You know what? I want to know the truth now. I don't give a damn who's in the White House, Democrat or Republican. What in the hell is happening to our border? What is happening to Texans? What is happening to North Carolinians, Floridians, a few Kentuckians?